What's up, Lucas? Thank you so much for jumping on the podcast, man.
What's up? What's up? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm excited. We've been trying to hook this up for a few weeks now, so I'm stoked to be here.
I know, man. It's crazy. You talk to another entrepreneur, and it's like you ever get on the schedule.
I know. Once you get on the phone with them, it's just blowing up minds, and then it's hard to get back on. So I'm glad we're here.
That's it, man. Well, talk to me. How's your fitness been going? I know you've been getting in some crazy stuff. I've seen your Instagram and watching that stuff. And talk to us. Tell me about your workouts. I know you've been doing some different kind of training.
Yeah. So growing up, that was my dad was big into fitness, and so he kind of taught me the ways and the ropes. And so at a young age, I was in the gym. I was doing a lot of athletic movements, not like trying to lift crazy or anything. But so all of my teenage years, I loved going to the gym. We'd work on some sprints, agility, lifting some weight. So it's just always kind of been in my life and my routine. And I've always kind of done it a little bit different because of him. So it wasn't ever like, let's just go in and get a bro split, which I'm very thankful of. And I'm not like bashing it, but I just grew up not like that because my dad kind of was an athlete and stuff. So like now I work out for enjoyment. I do a lot of weird challenges. I'll throw up just trying to do like a 10,000 jumping jacks. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's just trying to see how long it takes me to get 10,000 jumping jacks and set a little round system. But yeah, I just like being able to move and athletic. So I do a lot of weird things. I don't really have a split. I try to. And I have tried in the past, but it just I just start randomly doing handstands and stuff, backflips, and it's just like doesn't work. So I work out to have fun, and fitness is just really enjoyable to me and feeling that way. So,
dude, I love that. I just posted something a reel the other night, and I was trying something I saw. It was like on a balance ball, throwing tennis balls, and the whole thing of it was like just do something fun. I think right now so many people are trying to overcomplicate. Like fitness and your health should be something you enjoy, and like making it creative and fun is so important.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest things. And also my wife, Brindley, we talk about this a lot, is I feel like there's so many people out there, and there's nothing wrong with it, but just like preaching the right way to do fitness or like be healthy. And I'm just like, it just never is going to end well if you're like have a right and wrong. And that's the same thing with like religion and stuff. There's just like, there should never be a right and wrong way to be healthy and be fit. Like go enjoy it. If it's just a walk every day, then go do a walk. If it's lifting weights to the max you can, people enjoy that and it gets them high doing it. So like, I just think there's no right way, and it's just like whatever makes you happy and fun. And I never want to come off as like, this is the way to do it. This is how many reps are the best. Like then you just come into like listening to people and you don't ever find what like works for you. So I preach that all the time. I love that.
100%. You got me inspired, bro. My basketball career is over, so the backflip game's coming.
I know. Don't let everyone know. He's been reaching out. Doug's gonna be doing a backflip here in the next month, I say.
Bro, literally, I want to get that down so bad, but I've been so scared to do it. Like, I've been playing college basketball. I'm like, I can't risk it. Like, if I break my neck, dude, it's over.
Yo, same. When I was playing soccer and stuff, like, I'm talking like my friends would go to the lake and stuff, and we'd be wakeboarding. I was like, man, y'all are just doing flips, and I want to try it, but I just can't risk it. And that was the same with backflips and stuff. I was just like, I don't like this. All it takes is one little slip up, and my ankle's done or something. So I never tried it until Brindley forced me to, and I just stood there for probably like 5-10 minutes. Like I can't do it. And then finally, I jumped and landed it. It was probably the best one I've ever done because I had just so much adrenaline, and I landed perfect, better than ever.
On the first try?
The first one. Like, yeah, because I tried it so many times in the pool, and then I just went over and was like, I have to do this. And I sat there, and it was the best one I've ever done, for sure. It's on video. Like, I just landed the exact spot I jumped. Like, it was perfect. And I have yet to been able to do that again.
That's crazy. What kind of surf? Where did you do it? Was it on it was on grass?
Yeah, it was just on grass.
Okay. Shoot.
Some thick grass.
Yeah, I mean,
they say to do it. I know they say to do it in sand is like for like I guess safety of landing.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it's hard. I feel like it's harder to jump off the ground. But they say like when you're landing, it's better in case you kind of land on your knees and stuff. It's not hard ground. But
Sheesh. All right, man. Well, I'll keep
You just, you got it, bro. You got it.
Oh man, well that's dope, man. Yeah, I agree though. The fitness stuff is super cool. And you have obviously you mentioned it. You know, you have the athletic background. I do want to jump into your story a little bit here, kind of more. Just I think I'll set the context for the big thing I want to talk about and what you guys have created with He Would Love First, which is incredible. But yeah, just I want to hear more about your story growing up, getting to play college soccer, and then I think that'll segue nicely into what you guys have started and what the Lord's been putting on.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll start from the beginning here early on. But so I grew up in Georgia. I'm in California now, but grew up in Georgia, just south of Atlanta, in a smaller town, not the smallest town, but grew up there. Amazing family. Parents are super dope. They basically have taught me everything I do now, as far as like even soccer, athletics, and then fitness wise, but also faith, and then like kind of my drive and I guess the way I go about things. They just taught me about the money situation, and my dad owns his own business, and my mom cuts hair, so they've never really like worked for someone. So I guess I've kind of just seen that, and I'm super grateful for that, because I kind of got that at an early age of like, this is how you can hustle and you can make as much as you want and you can push yourself and be as great as you want, and all that kind of stuff I kind of saw early on. So my parents, I credit them tremendously for just being role models throughout all of this, my childhood. So grew up in a small town. Basically soccer took over my life at like probably 7. I was practicing up in Atlanta 4, 5, 6 times a week. So there wasn't much room for any kind of like other sports. I never played another sport. I love other sports. Me and my dad would always go out and mess around. So I can basically play every sport, and I know every sport and love them, but I just never like competition wise, never played it. Yeah. And so soccer took over my life early on. High school, played it every single day. Then I got to, senior, I think junior year I committed and then played in college. And then freshman year in college is when I loved it, killed it. It was the best thing ever. And then I think this like where my faith kind of came into the picture. Before I went to church, believed in God, knew he was there. I was just kind of doing my own thing. I was going to worry about him later and stuff. I had that kind of mindset of like, my life's good. I don't really need to worry about it. I'm young. Let me just do my own thing. So freshman year was kind of when my faith, I guess my belief in Jesus really took off and kind of came in the picture. And I was like, I'm really going to do this thing and take it serious. So freshman year, the Christmas break. So I went and played that fall, and then I came home for holidays. And this is when the story gets a little twisty, but a close friend of mine passed away in a freakish accident. And I was close with her, and like we had a small class. So I graduated with 100 people. So I knew who she was, and we were really close. But she wasn't like my best friend or anything, but she was just someone I cared about and knew and went to school every single day with. So when that happened, it kind of rocked me. It was the first time anything like that's ever happened. I've never had a family member die at that point, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of shook me, and I was just shook of the questions of why and anger and all this kind of stuff. So it sent me down this like kind of bad path of not knowing and a lot of confusion towards God, towards everyone, and it kind of went into my relationship with my family, and I was just angry at all the people saying she's in a better place, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, she's gone. Like that sucks, you know? Mm-hmm. So that kind of took me for a turn. And then coming back to school that spring year, I had a friend that I was close with. His name's Casey, who's now my business partner. Look at God, he's crazy. But so he's my business partner now, but he was one of my friends on the team. He was 2 years older than me. So it's already like this crazy story. Watch the way God kind of put us together. He was a transfer, didn't know who he was before this. So it's crazy. But coming into that spring year, I came and my parents were dropping me off. It was a Saturday. I remember this story like nothing else. Saturday, Casey ended up just randomly texting me and was like, yo, you want to go to church tomorrow? Never been to church in Atlanta. He's never asked me before. It was just this random thing. It's like, yo, I'm going tomorrow if you want to come. And I was like, yeah, why not? Didn't really want to be honest. I was kind of still in that rough state of God was kind of like, I was pissed off at God for what he did. But I went and I was rocked. And I just felt all the emotions come back. And I was just shook. Everything kind of like all my heart just left, all my shoulders left. And I just was changed from there. And then from then on out, it was like purpose. Like I had my drive and all that I was doing and wanting to be the best, and like soccer and stuff all had a purpose behind it. Like the reason I was doing everything had a purpose, and it was now to glorify him for the kingdom. And it just changed the way I looked at life, and more fun. Like it was just more fun. It was enjoyable. He was in my life. I loved people more. It was great. And then segmenting into that, me and Casey became really close. So the next year we were roommates, and this is where He Would Love First comes in. And so if you don't know what He Would Love First is, we started, I guess, a Christian apparel brand, but at the beginning it was not that. So it stands for He Would Love First, and it's answering the question, what would Jesus do? So if you've ever heard that, WWJD on the bracelets, on t-shirts and stuff, we answer the question with He Would Love First, and basically just do the same letters and stuff. It's just HWLF. So that's when this came about. Was me and Casey became best friends, roommates thereafter. And then Casey got asked by one of the guys on the soccer team, what would Jesus do? What's your bracelet mean? And he had the bracelet on. He asked him, and they started talking about it. But Casey thought what was going to happen was he was going to say, well, what would Jesus do? Like, what would you tell me? Like, it's a question, what's the answer? And so Casey kind of like took that and was like, really, like, I don't know what I would tell him. And we kind of just started playing with it. He came up with this like drawing and was like, it's love. Yeah. And we were like, how can we make it somehow answer it? And then so it's just He Would Love First. And he has this little drawing early on with the bracelet and stuff. So we put in money, me, him, and his cousin, and just ordered a pack of bracelets, like legit, just printed on HWLF. Like a week would go by and they would come off like the print would. And it was just like we were just like, let's just get this movement going. Like we want people to know, what would Jesus do? And so we started handing them out, sending them out in envelopes, like licking the seal, writing addresses down, putting a stamp on them, and sending them out, this one bracelet. And now like that transformed into growing and people wanting more. And then we just learned and learned and learned till we are where we're at now. So it's been a crazy ride, crazy story for myself, and the way it's all kind of been connected. If you asked me in high school or freshman year in college if I would be owning a Christian brand, no way would I be owning a brand. I don't know. Like it's just crazy, but cool.
It's an incredible story. And I think it's so cool to see guys like, it's just like you said, it's just crazy how God works. And you take someone who might not have been as close or, super strong in their faith at a point in life. And then sometimes an event occurs, but how like he just makes sense of all things. Like you can look back and you're like, man, he made this happen, or he made this connection there. And like, I know what he was doing now. I didn't at the time, but like, it's so cool to see him working. And when you stay faithful, like you just see it all unfold.
He's crazy. He does a lot of crazy things like that. You look back, you go, okay, I get it now. But then it was not that way.
Dude, no question. I want to talk more about, so you guys came up with the idea, you saw there was a need, like people needed to hear this. You ordered the bracelet. Yeah. Did y'all jump on social media? That was one of y'all's first steps? Y'all created an Instagram and kind of started producing content?
So what we started, or how we started, was our personal socials. So at the time, which there's a lot that we could talk about, like the way it all went down. But at the time, we both were playing soccer. So we were in college, and at that time, now you guys have it good, but at that time you couldn't start a business, you couldn't be paid, you couldn't do anything. And so we were scared to death of what we were doing. Right. So we posted on our personal socials. It was like, hey, we have these bracelets. We want to give them to you. So it was never salesy. And then 24 hours went by, we deleted the post. So we never created this thing.
Oh, wow.
And then so once Casey got out, so he had a semester till he was done. So we kind of did that for a semester, really like 4 months of just kind of like handing them out, word of mouth, just kind of getting the movement going, which is cool the way it's gone, because we were never out to seek money. We were never out to start a business or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just the way ours kind of came about. It was basically just based out of like a movement. And so we just did our personals, posted it out there, and then deleted all the photos. And then when Casey got out of college, I was still in. So I was like, he runs it. I can now promote it and stuff. Y'all don't know like what I'm doing on the back end. So once he got out, we created the Instagram and just started, pumping content. I think we've archived some of those early on ones because they were just like funny pictures of things we were posting. But we just started posting, and then friends resharing. We had a close knit friend group, so they would reshare, and then the word of mouth would kind of go out. Luckily, we were in athletics there, so a bunch of the teams were all about it, and so they put their word of mouth out and just kind of spread like rapid fire really quickly until we didn't have bracelets left, and we were like, well, I guess we need to reorder, or we need to figure out what we're going to do here. And so that's when the kind of Instagram came, and then we went to Wix, created a website. One of the guys created it. His cousin just kind of threw it up there, started putting things together, had a spot where someone could buy a bracelet. We handled customer service. We did everything and dropped packages off at like a USPS like bucket, like just in the slot. So yeah, but it was basically Instagram that kind of took it off for sure. Like just started posting, and then we had amazing, close, good friends that really helped. So they were helping us with orders. They were blasting out on their socials nonstop, which helped a ton. So, but it was crazy.
That's incredible. At what point would you say, could you tell like it was starting to turn a little bit, like where it was like a cool idea, you were doing bracelets, but then you're like, man, this is taking off. This could be something bigger than what we thought. Like what was the point when you kind of noticed that?
Yeah, I guess we started in I guess we started it. The idea came about in 2016. 2017 kind of went by. It was just low key, like doing that kind of bracelet thing. It was the idea that kind of came about, and then we're like, maybe we should do it. Held off for a while, and then finally did it. So I would say around 2018, 2019, it was never really an event that happened. It just kind of like slowly, we kind of had pieces that we put together without really knowing. They're like the shop. Went to Shopify. That store kind of came in, and then we had I don't know why these pieces reminded me, but like we had a customer service platform where we were answering customer service, and it made sense. And then we had like a way to print labels, like the Rolo printer that came out, and we could stick the packages on there, because before we were cutting with scissors and taping them on bags. Guys, this is like wild. So once like all these like little improvements that we did, not on purpose, kind of came together, and we were like, wait a minute, like this makes sense, and it's something that we can do more and order more, and have the money to now. So I would say about 3 years ago, and that's crazy to say that it's only been for real for 3 years, but yeah, I would say about 3 years ago, we all kind of sat around and got really excited about the future and dreaming about it. And we were like, let's just run with this and see what happens.
No, I love that. And then that's when you guys started to add in more things too. Like that's when y'all kind of got into more of the apparel side, more than just the bracelets.
Yeah. So we started with all bracelets, and then we moved to just one t-shirt. It just said HWLF on it. We don't even sell them anymore. I probably shouldn't say all this because it's straight exposure, but we measured things we had the only measurement thing we had when the manufacturer asked us. We didn't have a tape measure. We didn't have anywhere to go. It was legit 11 o'clock at night. we had a dollar bill, and we knew the exact measurement of a dollar bill. Looked it up online. And so this sounds horrible, but we stacked a dollar bill twice and was like, that looks about right. And we measured that. And then we said we want it to be center inside of this block. And it was our block T that we had for probably 6 months to a year. And then we obviously, now we know what we're doing, guys. We have a system, we have a graphic designer.
Measuring tapes now?
Yeah, we just moved up. We went and bought our first tape measure so we can measure the length of our designs. But yeah, that's how it all started. And that's why I love this whole thing about, I don't know, just any kind of grind. And that I think that's why it all, me talking about it's even bringing it out more is like, I love talking about it because it doesn't make sense how we did it. Like we had no idea what's going on. And so speaking to anyone that has any kind of passion, and that's where I'm at with life right now, is like, you only get one day. I mean, one life, and each day is you only get one day at a time. And like, we had no idea what we were doing ever. Like, and it's still to this day, we're running into issues of like, I don't know. We got to look it up on YouTube. I don't know how to integrate this software into this or this code. And it's just like learning how to do it is one step after another. And it just doesn't take anything but hard work and like just setting up to actually do it. And we loved what we were doing. And it was a mission behind it. And we were like, the whole time we were like, why are we doing this? We need to keep in mind the money is not the issue here. We're not trying to make the most money. It was always movement. It was always love. It was always trying to help people, to Christians and non-believers. It was just like, this is like love and it's real. I don't care if you can ask questions later, but like, this is what he would do, would love you first. That's just period. He won't tell you you're wrong. He won't tell you like, convict you, condemn you, anything. He's not out to like tell you what you're doing wrong. He's here to love you. And then everything else comes after that. And so that's what our whole mission's always been, is like, just to love people and tell people and like unmask Jesus. Cause I feel like so many people in this world is kind of like sees Jesus as like the picket fence people on the side of the like street, just saying like how much he hates you. Like you're a sinner and you're going to hell. And I think that's just the wrong way to turn someone like out of fear and like turn someone towards Jesus. And so, I kind of went on a rant there, but that's like our mission. And we kind of just kept stepping into faith, knowing that was our thing, was like, we want people just to know like who Jesus really, really is, and throughout the Bible and everything. So.
Yeah, dude, that's incredible. And I think it's tough. Like when people truly like dig down and deepen their faith and like intentionally seek God and they feel that calling and purpose for something, it's hard to stop it. Like there'll be struggles, there'll be, walls or things that come up, but like, you're going to find a way. Like you said, you're going to push through. And, if you're driven by that and that's your motivation, the sky's the limit. You're going.
Yeah. And nothing about it was easy. There was a lot of times when obviously I was younger than the other guys. And so I was trying to still pursue soccer and stuff like that. So I had to make a lot of hard decisions, and that was hard. It was like, I have this thing that like the Lord's called me to do, but I also have this passion he's put in my heart of both things, of like, which one's right. Soccer was always been my passion. And then this business is obviously glorifying the kingdom and like spreading his love. It's like, it was the hardest season of my life. It was like picking one of those, like, I want to fight for my passion, but I know he's put this passion on my heart as well to run this business. So that was one of the hardest things I've ever been through with the company, was like, do I let the guys do it and I take a break, or do I just keep pushing? And because at that time it was like, it wasn't income. Like we didn't pay ourselves. We kept just running cash on the business, trying to get cash flow. And it wasn't like we were just pumping money back into it, whatever we made. And so I was like, I got to think about my future here. What's going to like, it wasn't like I was getting like on salary or anything. So I had to make the decision of what I wanted to do. So that was one of the hardest things probably in the company that it went through.
Dude, that's so cool. Where do you guys see this going? Like, what is, I know this you're probably enjoying the process, and there's probably not a huge there might be an end goal, but I know you're enjoying it, but like where do y'all see it headed?
It's funny. We've had a few people like mentors that have started other companies and stuff ask us that question. It's like, okay, before you get started and you're taking each step and taking it on and killing it, like what's your goal here? Like as a business, like what are you going after? And we need to attack that. And we joke about it because day one was always, we want the world to know. It was on our website from the very beginning. We want the world to know like what Jesus would do, everybody in the world. And we stuck by it. Like some big time people have asked us like, what's y'all's goal? And we're just like, we want the world to know. And it's just like, we want everyone to know. We want to go to the ends of the earth, both sides, and everyone to know what Jesus would do. And here at HWLF. So as we're taking this process on, we do have we'll meet like once a month and just dream big dreams and be like, we want to create this into like a movement that people are about and like giving out bracelets. That's why every package that we send out comes with an extra bracelet. So it's incentivizes them to give it out.
Awesome.
It's the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing to do, to give the gospel to somebody instead of handing them a Bible and they're like, hey, I don't like, why are you giving me that? It's like to give them a bracelet, like tell them Jesus loves you. Here's the bracelet. You can look up what it means later. So every package comes with an extra bracelet, and that's our goal of like creating this movement that is just loving on people and going to these crazy situations and loving on people. So we want the world to know. There's a bunch of things we have like in the works. Hopefully, like say year or 2 years, we want to have a nonprofit where we're sending out teams to help people, and really just exploding the world with love, to be honest. So big dream. We want everyone to know what it is. And it may be like technically a smaller business, and we're not, like a lot of times we don't know what we're doing. We're still learning and figuring it out, but we want everyone to know what Jesus would do, because we just think it's a question that everyone knows, but like the answer is simple, but it's like you start really thinking about it and not everyone knows that answer, but knows the question. So
yeah, dude, that's exactly right. And I think it'd been easy to give me like some basic answer to that question, or anyone really, but when you're doing something for the Lord, like who knows, like the doors that the places he could take, like that's the fun part. And I think that's where you just stay faithful and work as hard as you can and see where he takes you. Yeah,
it's more like we'll stop when he tells us to. So we want everyone to know until then, and we're gonna do what he says and what he has in front of us. But yeah, just keep pushing with faith, and then that just everything kind of leads to where it's supposed to be.
No, that's awesome. I love that. And I think there's so many cool overlaps with the platform that we've created with AIM, what you guys have done and seen so much success. What advice would you give for someone that's trying to, go out and they have this idea, they have this passion, they really want to, start it, but they don't know where to start or how to get it going? What kind of advice would you give?
Man, like the generic one is like, just work hard. I mean, and like figure it out. But when I really think about it, it's that, but it's like figuring out, like, I guess, like why you're doing something, whatever that passion is, you have it just in you and how bad you want it. It's just figuring out like why you guys do AIM. I know you care about just changing people's life, and you care about like making someone better, and it's just trying to help people. And that's it. That drive and that fire in your heart is like, that'll take it everywhere. Like you don't need anything else. And so figuring out the why, and most importantly, if the why is not about yourself, I think that like helps so much with starting any business. It's like you're more of starting a business that's helping others, and how it's going to help and improve others, or whatever the situation is. It's just not like I'm just going to start a business to make money, or I'm going to start a business to benefit myself or my clout. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I think a why is huge. And then also if that why is like, you have a something to back it up where it's going to like change the world and make the world a better place when you leave. So
I love that 100%. I was listening to a song the other night. I was working out, and man, I've been trying to, like, Apple Music does a playlist called Elevate. I don't know if do you have Apple Music, or are you a Spotify guy?
Spotify guy.
Oh, dude, people really hate on Apple Music. I don't know why. There's like some tension there.
I've just never had it, so I can't say anything bad about it. I just never had Apple Music, so nothing wrong with it. Spotify's where it's at.
I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song, but Lecrae's in it, Mike Todd's in it. So like there's some heat in the song. But
Wow.
It's a good song. Like it's got a good beat. Obviously it's clean and everything. It's awesome. But at the end of it, and this is what rocked me. I was in the gym. A lot of people were working out around me. I had my headphones in, kind of distracted, kind of in a weird, we've got a lot going on with AIM, which is exciting, but at the same time, you can probably relate. It can get overwhelming, right? But I sat there, and at the end of the song, Mike Todd talks about, he's like, don't seek out a platform, don't seek out networking, don't seek out like paper chasing, to seek your purpose. And trust God, because in the next season of your life, you'll see what he's doing. And that's kind of like what we were talking about. Like, you don't know necessarily in the moment, but down the road, like if you keep your faith in God and you're seeking that bigger purpose, like it's insane what he can do. It gave me chills, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh.
No, yeah, that freaking is sick. You see it, and yeah, you put your head down and work with faith and like just focus on what he's wanting to do and like his character. That he takes care of the rest. You just got to put in the work and what he's given you and like that greatness in your head. And then you can do anything with him. I mean, it's crazy. And then watching him just work is like just the fact that we're on this podcast. I'll tell that story later, but it's just wild. Like things just come about from doing what he's called you to do, and your passions that he's put on you, and you just diving into them actually with this mindset of being the best, because that's what he wants. Like he cares about. I was listening to, I don't know if you've ever heard of Erwin McManus, Mosaic.
Who's that?
Well, I'll send you. He's the head pastor at Mosaic Church here in LA.
Okay, cool.
I'll send you a few podcasts and sermons. He speaks on being the greatest and the mindset of like actually Christians wanting to be the best, and like why should we not? Because Jesus was the best, but also like we look up to these people that are the best, but they're not believers. So like why can't we be that? And he talks about being the greatest servant, but that's where like you'll be the greatest, stuff like that. But anyways, he was speaking. I just was listening to him, and he was speaking about that. And just like when you have the mindset of like wanting to be the best, your best self, because like, why would God give you something and make us all different and make us like, give us all these different passions and different lives and different dreams and all this crazy stuff if he didn't want you to actually like be the best and like kill it? Like, why would he give you this stuff of like, I want to be into fitness and I love fitness so much and I love helping people, and he put that on your heart, and then just be like, I'll do it later. Like, I don't really want to go hard at it. I'll worry about that tomorrow. And he just really, it was the simplest question to me. It was like, why would he give you all these things if you believe in that, and that he's given you these dreams and passions, which we both do? And it's like, why would we not take it and run with it, and want to glorify the world and spread it to all the other people? Like, he's giving you that passion for a reason. So I'm going to take everything I do and try to be the best me and give it the best I can. So, dude,
I love that, man. That fired me up. That got me.
I need to send you his sermon. He's my favorite pastor right now. I've been listening to. He speaks straight fire, and it's so simple. I mean, that's a very simple concept that I've never really thought about. And I was like, because I always used to think like trying to be the best or like being competitive was like a bad thing. And he just opened my eyes to like, it's just your why. Like, it's just doing it for what the Lord's called you to do. And like, being competitive is amazing. We should. So I'll send you some of those there. He's good.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. I love that. And I think like when you, like we talked about this whole time, just when you seek God first and like that's what's driving you, like they're going to be hard. The times are going to be struggles, but like that's going to keep you going, because that's what we were designed. We were designed to have him in our heart. Like when we try to fill with other things, we're going to burn out. We're going to run into a wall. Like we got to fill it with the right stuff. And I'm proud of you, bro. Like you're doing awesome stuff, man. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you so much. You are too. I mean, just the fact of us connecting and being able to talk and see what you guys are doing at AIM, and then it obviously being early on, it's just, the world needs that, and it's amazing. And so I'm proud of you as well, and love what you are doing.
Love it, bro. Thank you so much for being on the AIM podcast. Lucas, dude, man, you've been an incredible guest, and this has been very fruitful conversation. It's got me energized and hyped up, man.
I know. It's 9 o'clock here, so I'm about to hit the gym. I'm feeling really good, and hyped up and wanting to kill life and everything. So I really appreciate it. Ton of fun. And it was all straight enjoyable. Pumped me up. So I'm gonna go probably do work, probably go work out. I mean, all of it.
Praise God, brother, man. Thank you so much for being on.
Yep, you're welcome. Later, guys.